In today's video, we continue on with our NHL season preview series. We now jump back east and look at teams in the Metropolitan Division. Today we start off with a team that was very, very busy, made lots of changes, the New Jersey Devils. They had a disappointing year last year, but with all the changes, can they get back to contending for the division lead? We'll preview this team and discuss our thoughts coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have another season preview to talk about here today. We're looking at the New Jersey Devils. Now, in case you're new to this series, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to recap last year's results, take a look at how things went, take a look at their cap space, additions, subtractions, rookies that are in the mix, contract extensions that may be done this year, and then we'll analyze the roster and take a look at the top questions facing this franchise or what we expect of them going into the season. So the New Jersey Devils last year, very disappointing season, had some injuries, underperformed. Goaltending was a big issue for them, and they ended up finishing 7th in the Metro Division. Record of 38, 39, and 5 with 81 points. The year before, they had done much better, made the playoffs, and actually won a round, and then they took a major step back. So certainly, like I said, very disappointing last year, which resulted in a coaching change as well. Lindy Ruff no longer with the club. Sheldon Keefe takes over as the new head coach after he was let go from the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Devils ended up scoring 264 goals last year, which was 14th in the league, so not bad. Goals against, though, was a big problem, 288 for 27th best. The power play was decent as well, 22.5 for 13th best. And the penalty kill, also respectable, 80.7 for 10th best. So for the most part, not getting a save is a huge part of this. I compare the Devils very much to the Ottawa Senators last year. Different scenarios because the Devils had already taken the big leap, but they couldn't sustain that leap because of goaltending letting them down time and time again. And of course, they ran into some injuries, which did not help matters either. Same thing in Ottawa. New Jersey, seeing if they can. And New Jersey was a lot busier this year for adding some new talent, which we'll get into here in just a moment as well. So big changes coming in the Devils for the upcoming year for sure. But, a lot of respectable stats, which were fair considering what the team overall accomplished. Their top scorers last year ended up being Jesper Bratt in first place with 83 points. Jack Hughes, of course, missed time again. Another injury or two, 74 points. Nico Hischier, 67. Timo Meier, 52. And young defenseman Luke Hughes with 47. The playoffs, obviously was not a thing last year for them. They've only made the playoffs once in the last 6 years, which was 2 years ago when they went to the second round after knocking off the New York Rangers. The cap space going into the season, $976,000, so they could squeeze in a league minimum contract or something, but that's about it. So they have a new head coach, and they have lots of new talent coming in new to the club this year. They've got a whole new goaltending tandem. Of course, they had acquired Jake Allen last year around the trade deadline. Then they went out and got their starting goaltender, Jacob Markstrom from Calgary, who they've been linked to for some time as well. So Markstrom, big acquisition, comes over. They go out in free agency and they get Stefan Nason, Tomas Tatar, and Paul Cotter to add to their forward mix mostly into the bottom six there. Then you've got Brett Pesce and Brendan Dillon come over as UFA defensemen. They picked up Jonathan Kovacevic from the Montreal Canadiens, who looks like he should be a real good, probably 6'7" guy for them. Got some good depth. And then they have Kevin LeBanc and Jacob Zboril in camp on PTOs. No clear-cut answer yet if they're going to get a contract or not. Leaving the team, so these subtractions include a couple of young players like Alexander Holtz and Akira Schmid, who were both traded to Vegas. John Marino, of course, who was moved out to Utah. Brendan Smith, Capo Kakinen, Kevin Ball, who was involved in the Markstrom trade, and Thomas Nosek not returning this year. As far as some rookies that you're going to maybe see have a big impact, the most likely scenario is on the back end, but it's going to be difficult to say. Simon Nemec, definitely the player they're going to, for youngsters that are still not rookie category, that will make the most impact. But Seamus Casey is going to be a name to watch this year as well. He comes out of college hockey, signed his contract, and will be certainly pushing the other D for games, but they've got a pretty deep blue line. It's going to be difficult to say exactly where he finds his opportunities. As far as contract extension goes, the only RFA they have that's due for an extension will be Luke Hughes. Wouldn't be shocking to see that get done some point during the season. As far as UFAs that are due, you've got Tomas Tatar, Curtis Lazar, Nathan Bastian, Jonathan Kovacevic, and Nick DeSimone. I don't know if there's anything really pressing there. You could see, a year extension or something for some of them, but at the same time, wouldn't be shocking if all or most of those are, put off and wait until the end of the season. Analyzing the roster going into the season here, we've got the goaltending tandem of Jacob Markstrom and Jake Allen. Of course, they still have Nico Dawes in the mix. He'd be their number 3, but he'll be in the minors. On the back end, you've got Jack Hughes, Dougie Hamilton, hopefully who's fully healthy and recovered. You got Brett Pesce comes over along with Brendan Dillon, Jonas Siegenthaler, Nemec, and Kovacevic. So you've got a real good mix there of youth, experience, good offensive dynamics, some good strong defensive metrics. They should be really much improved blue line. On the forward group, you're likely looking at Hughes, Bratt, Meyer, Hischier, Mercer, Tatar, Hala, Nason, Palat, Lazar, Bastian, and Cotter. And then with McDermott being in the mix is probably your 13th forward as well. So all in all, I think for the most part, you could say their goaltending is definitely much better. So they've solidified the goaltending. The blue line, which was a bit of an issue last year, mainly because Hamilton was out for so long, it wasn't so much on paper that it was horrible, but they ended up with enough injuries that their young guys were being overused, overworked, couldn't handle the assignments. So they've really kind of transitioned into having a deeper, stronger, more mature blue line with some younger guys mixed in. So you're going to have opportunity for Hughes to continue, Nemec to hopefully take a step, but then you get Hamilton, Pesce, Dillon, Siegenthaler to kind of take off the middle part of that, and then Kovacevic, like I said, a good depth option. So really, this blue line to me is a fair bit better. And in the forward group, it's largely the same. Between Bratt, Hughes, Meyer, Hischier, Mercer, they've got guys that can score. Their third line's pretty solid as well. Guys that can play a two-way game, be responsible. They've got some size there. All in all, I really like this club. You can say that, Tom Fitzgerald did a great job in the offseason, which we had talked about when we did a GM report card. I gave him a really good grade. At the end of the day, they lost some pieces, but they really didn't lose anything that wasn't replaceable. All in all, most aspects of this team is better. Plus, they have a new coach. I expect New Jersey to likely contend for the top 2 spots in the division. I wouldn't be shocked if they won the division this year. At the very least, I'd say in the first 1 or 2 spots. The top 3 teams I suspect are probably going to be the Devils competing with teams like the Rangers, maybe the Canes. The Capitals I know are improved, but it's hard to say. Same with Pittsburgh, so hard to say how everything goes. But New Jersey will be a team that I suspect will be one of the stronger Eastern Conference clubs for sure. So let me know what your thoughts and expectations are of the Devils of this season down in the comments. We'll discuss further. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep you up to date with all the news, rumors, and analysis of all 32 NHL teams. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.